Pinterest marketing for a small business. All you need to know about the perfect pin. Watch today's program to understand all you need to know about Pinterest marketing. From crafting the perfect pin to selling your products or services, we delve into the best practices that top marketers, entrepreneurs, and business owners use to grow sales and exposure every single day. Pins get your ideas and products in front of the people who matter most. Every pin contains an image or video, plus a link to your store or site. But an awesome pin ensures store or site visitors become lifelong supporters, fans, and or buyers. As Pinterest likes to say, show it, sell it, see results. Let's get started. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. How are you doing today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you were to ask me. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Let's roll. Today I want to talk to you about Pinterest marketing. This is a wonderful topic, a topic I'm very passionate about, and a topic that millions of small business owners out there enjoy as well. Let's first talk about the basics. Let's talk about the pin formats. When you talk about Pinterest marketing, you have to talk about pin formats. You need to have the perfect format for your pin. Let's sort of explore the pin formats that are currently available on Pinterest. Now, there are five formats that you have to be aware of. The first one is a standard one, standard pin. Standard pin is just a picture. You have to use eye-catching, compelling images to highlight products, recipes, photos, and more. It really depends upon your industry. Depending upon the industry and the target audience you are going after, you need to find the perfect picture, recipe, or photo, or more, whatever it is that will captivate people's attention. That's the standard format. And then you have the video format. With video, you want to capture people's attention with sight, sound, and motion, right? You want to be as concise as possible. It has to be compelling. It has to be fun. It has to be interesting. Don't go for long videos. No, you want to have a short and sharp. I got it now. The third format is the product format when it comes to pins. So you want to make shopping easier with pins that shows real-time pricing and availability, plus a link to your site or store. Remember that if you're looking at Pinterest with a business perspective, every pin has to link to your site or store. You're not here just to show pictures. This is not some kind of I would say, picture sharing platform. No, you are creating pins to convert. You are creating pins to increase your base of customers, fans, or supporters. So with products, you want to make it shopping easier you want to make shopping easier with pins that will show real-time pricing. Real-time is key, folks, here. Real-time pricing availability, plus a link to your store. And then you have collections. That's the fourth category, the fourth pin format on Pinterest. So you want to take people from inspiration to action with multiple products in a single pin. So you are actually having some kind of carousel in a pin, so people can see different formats, different pins in a single collection. And the last format for pins is story. In a story pin, you are actually telling actionable multi-page stories. So story pins are currently in beta as of the date of this show, but you can actually apply for access. You can go on Pinterest.com, www.business.pinterest.com, and apply for story. And Pinterest has said to us, we will reach out to them on forums and other places, and apparently the beta platform will be up and running pretty soon. After the basics, let's now talk about shopping. When you have the perfect pin, you can use your pin to increase your exposure, increase your brand's exposure, increase your brand's visibility. You can sell your products. You can basically get a shop tab. And one thing that top marketers do on Pinterest is to get a shop tab on your profile. Thereby, you can upload your catalog to unlock a special tab that shows all your products in one place. That's what you want. You really want to have a single place where visitors and users can get an idea of all your products and services in a single place. If you want to push the marketing a little further, you want to join the Verified Merchant Program on Pinterest. This is a wonderful program for small businesses and large businesses, for that matter, which are interested to set themselves apart. By joining the Verified Merchant Program, the VMP, you can show that your store was vetted by the Pinterest team. This is a mark of prestige. This is a mark of eligibility to a higher tier. You're telling indirectly and directly, for that matter, you're telling visitors and users that you are serious you are a serious brand. You have been vetted by the Pinterest team. You are legit. Think of it as just an extra mark of legitimacy. You can actually also, once you have this perfect pin, you can run shopping ads where you can promote your products to reach more people and work towards performance goals. We have covered the subject of Pinterest advertising in a single show. You might want to double check that. We have received a lot of positive reviews about that show. So you will certainly learn a lot also by taking a look at that show. And you can also, if you want to stand out from other brands and make your products more popular on Pinterest, one thing you need to really pay attention to is making sure that on your tab, on your page, you are able to categorize your products. You're able to categorize your pins so that you're able to help viewers and users and prospective customers shop faster with you. So people can just come to your profile, know exactly what you're selling, know exactly what your content is about, and make a decision ASAP. Remember, again, nowadays people have a shorter attention span, so it is really important to learn to convey to your prospective shoppers within the first 5 to 10 or 15 seconds. And if you need help, Pinterest has the beauty of having something called Pinterest experts. Facebook also has it. I think nowadays a lot of platforms have that sort of program where you reach out with people and companies that have been vetted by the Pinterest team and other social media platforms to do excellent work. So if you do that, you can actually work with, for Pinterest, for example, you could work with one of their third-party partners to set up your feed, create shoppable experiences, and more. Let's now talk about marketing goals. So marketing on Pinterest starts with a pin. That's very important, but it doesn't end there, right? If you craft the perfect marketing strategy on Pinterest, you can reach your goals. And how do you reach the goals actually? How you reach your goals, not only in the short term, but also in the long run. First thing you need to do is to grow your audience. You want to reach new people and boost your online presence. And you can do that several ways. You can actually grow organically by participating in the Pinterest ecosystem, by following other people, by being a pinner to other people, and so that and contributing valuable content. Being an active, positive, and supportive partner of the Pinterest community will endear other users to you, to other pinners will come and start following you. So you can do that. You can grow your audience organically, and you can also grow your audience from the external part. So externally, so you can actually drive traffic to your Pinterest profile from other social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can also reach out to other forums. They're all online community groups. So the idea, you can even drive traffic from to and fro your blog all the way to your Pinterest profile. So growing your audience is, we have covered the subject of audience growth on the internet in myriad programs. So you might want to double check our programs and see exactly what we have covered in the past. We have about, I think, up to 10 videos that cover the audience growth videos, the audience growth subject. After growing your audience, you also want to drive traffic. That's what I was just talking about earlier. You want to drive traffic not only to your audience, to your Pinterest page, but also to your site or store, because that's the ultimate goal here. The ultimate goal is to get more people to your site or store. So you can do what? The third category here is to convert and increase sales. So you can help generate more sales for your online store or brick and mortar business. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is to increase engagements, to increase sales, to increase exposure. Ultimately, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are still talking today about Pinterest marketing, and we are having a conversation around how to create the perfect pin and how to use that pin to increase sales, to increase conversions, to increase exposure, to increase brand eligibility or brand visibility. Let's talk about measurement and analytics. You need to know that Pinterest has a wonderful area of tools that are available to users to know how the pins are performing. And this is something that you want to pay attention to if you are a small business owner, a marketer, or an entrepreneur, or just a regular Joe or regular Jane and wants to have more info about how your particular campaign is faring. You need to pay attention to this section. See how your pins are performing. You can, with the tools that Pinterest has, you can understand your audience. And this, you have to go into a section called Ads Manager, and we have another show about Ads Manager too. So you want to understand your audience. Audience insights will show you who you're reaching and what they care about. You want to really pay attention to that feedback loop because it tells you what is working, what's not, and how to tweak things going forward, how to tweak campaigns, how to tweak metrics, how to tweak objectives going forward. You will also want to get the metrics that matter. You want to get an instant read on individual pin performance or a deep dive into rich analytics that show your engagement metrics. I suggest you do both. You want to do both. Now, obviously, we only have 24 hours in a day, so you can't really do both on a regular basis, but you want to get for particular pins, for particular campaigns, you want to get an instant read on individual pin performance. Let's say, for instance, you are sort of gearing up for Thanksgiving. You know this is a high season for you. Your business makes probably 30%, 40%, or half of the annual sales around that season. So what you want to do is you want to create specific pins for the Thanksgiving, and you want to get an instant read on those individual pins, their performance. And after that, you can also deep dive into rich analytics that show your engagement metrics, either on that particular pin for the Thanksgiving or across various pins. For instance, once you had for summer sales, for Thanksgiving, for New Year's Eve, for Labor Day, and so on and so forth, for Father's Day, Mother's Day, that kind of thing. You can also promote your best pins. It is very important that Pinterest is growing every single day. We have 52% of US millennials use Pinterest. They are on Pinterest on a daily basis, according to a recent study, a 1998 study. Think about it. 52% of millennials, and you have 89%, according to the same story, the same study. 89% of people use Pinterest in their journey towards purchase. So if you're able to constantly create impeccable pins, and every now and then promoting the best pins, you are able to increase your stores or your website's visibility. So once you know which pins are doing well, promote them and reach more people. Now let's talk about, I've been talking to you about pins, the perfect pins, and I need to take a moment to show you simple pins. If you look on the screen right now, we have great impeccable pins that we took from Pinterest's own website, and we just believe those are beautiful pins. And you can see that you have a richness of colors, a diversity in the elements. Whether you're talking about you're selling something related to nature or clothing or home decor or food, there are ways to spruce up your content. There are ways to spruce up your eligibility, your visibility. Whether you're selling, for instance, here you have the nice lights or some knitting materials, some plants. It's just wonderful. So I'm just showing you some simple pins so you have an idea of what works, what has worked on the sites for the last 5 years, what users love, and the kind of practices you can emulate to create your impeccable pin. One thing you always have to pay attention to is to align your pin to two things: your goals, your campaign goals, your marketing goals, and your target audience. Yeah, target audience, their tastes, their preferences change all the time. This is not something you can't predict, but what you can predict is your marketing goals. This is stuff that you decide. So you need to be able to strike the right balance between your marketing goals, what you want over 3 months, over 6 months, over 1 year. You have to align that with what the users want at a particular moment. And if you do it right, you should be able to create your next wonderful pin. Let's now talk about best practices when it comes to creating pins. And this is following what I just spoke about in terms of making pins that get results. The best pins are visually compelling, tell a good story, and make people want to learn more. It's very easy to make great pins. Let me just give you some creative best practices here. For the standard pin, you want to pick a vertical image. Please use high quality vertical images that will stand out in people's feeds. Pinterest recommends a 2 to 3 aspect ratio, for example, 1000 by 1500 pixels. Other ratios may cause your pin to truncate or may negatively impact performance. So pick a vertical image. The second thing you want to do is to make your brand the focal point. So put your product or service front and center. Most important, avoid using abstract images or lifestyle imagery that doesn't showcase your brand. Include your logo. It's very important, folks. You want to include your logo. Remember what I was telling you earlier, the bottom line is you want to convert. You want to bring people to your site or store. So your logo has to be front and center. So you want to put a logo on every pin you make, but you want to keep it subtle. Not front and center, but you want to keep it subtle, but you also want to make sure it is visible. You want to avoid the lower right corner since that spot gets covered up by Pinterest product icon. You want to add text overlay. Text overlay is the copy that goes on your pin image to make it stand out. So keep your copy concise for readability on mobile. Remember, folks, a lot of people, the majority of people nowadays are reading those pins, are watching pins, or consuming content through smartphones. So you want to keep things concise and straight to the point. You should create separate pins for each country you target so they can be translated into the local language. You also want to pay attention to the pin copy. You want to optimize your pin copy. Clear titles and descriptions help your pin get discovered in search. You can use up to 100 characters for your title and up to 500 characters for your description. Let me repeat that. You can use up to 100 characters for your title and up to 500 characters for your description. That's for your pin copy. That's how you optimize the pin copy. You also want to check your links. Now, I was talking earlier and I said you always want to link your pin back to your site or store. You want to make sure your links are active and your links are actually linking or directing users to the right landing page. If your pin includes a link, check that the link is active and loads quickly. Your pin's creative tells people what to expect when they click. Make sure it matches your destination site stopping and imagery. Otherwise, you'll have a high rate of bounce. You'll have a high bounce rate, and worse, your brand might be accused of clickbaiting, and you don't want that. This is the last thing you want. So, when it comes to the perfect pin, you want to pick a vertical image, make your brand the focal point, include your logo, add text overlay, optimize your pin copy, check your links. Let's talk about video pins. Before I was just telling you, I was talking to you about standard pins. Now let's talk about video pins. For video pins, you want to start strong and make it actionable. You want to lead with a clear hook within the first few seconds to capture people's attention. Folks, very important. 3 to 5 seconds, you want to capture people's attention ASAP. Because the last thing you want is people actually clicking off and just to bounce it. You don't want that. So you want to pay attention to that ASAP. You want to choose the right length. What is the optimal length here? For video ads, Pinterest says that 6 to 15 seconds works best. That's for video ads. For organic video, keep the video above 4 seconds. Make sure your videos clearly and succinctly communicate your ideas. So Pinterest is not the platform to have documentary style video ads. You want to go straight to the point. You want to be very, very, very concise. Show, don't tell. Some pinners watch video with sound off, so don't rely on audio or dialogue. You want to use text overlay or captions to help tell your story. You also want to pick a strong cover image when it comes to Pinterest and Pinterest marketing. Select a cover image when you upload your video so people can understand what your video is about with just one glance. And the last thing here is, how do you optimize your pin copy? Clear titles and descriptions help your video get discovered in search. Again, the restrictions, the limits here are 100 characters for your title and up to 500 characters for your description. I'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I hope you are still having a fun time with us during this conversation around Pinterest marketing. And if you love the content's clarity and quality so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so we can inform you in real time whenever we drop a new show. And we drop this kind of shows every single day, rain or shine. If you like this content, like it, share, comment, ask questions. We will be very happy to get back to you. Let's talk about story pins. So I've told you about video pins and standard pins. Now let's talk about story pins. For story pins, you want to choose a compelling cover image. A strong image or video up front tells people what your story is about with just one glance. That's what you want. Go straight to the matter. Use multiple pages. Pinterest recommends using 3 or more pages to tell your story. Just don't limit it to one. It's called a story pin. So the story pin is supposed to drag people into a story. And you can't just have a story on one page. You can't have a story on 2 pages. So trying to have 3 or more. The sweet spot is around between 3 and 8. So you are hooking people the right way. You're not losing them. People are sticking around to watch your content, and hopefully will be interested enough to visit your site or store. You want to showcase your style. What is your style? What is your brand style? Share your personality with a mix of images, videos, fonts, and colors. Colors are quintessential on Pinterest. Being a creative platform by default, you want to play around with the colors. Now, of course, the colors must match your logo, right? You want to have brand visibility and brand consistency. So if you need to have some kind of creative harmony in all the content, but you want to have captivating colors, captivating images, videos, and fonts. Also, one thing you want to do when it comes to making your pin stand out is to tag the relevant topics. Before you publish your pin, make sure to tag relevant topics. This helps get your pins in front of the right people. And that's what you want. You want to have the pins in front of the right people. Remember though, folks, as I've said before, that story pins are currently in beta. As of the date of this show, story pins are currently in beta. People with business accounts in the United States can apply to get early access to story pins. But this is a strategy this is a new product that Pinterest is very excited about. The consumers are very excited about it as well, and we're definitely sure that feature will do great. So I have talked to you about three categories of pins. So we have the video pins, you have the standard pins, and the story pins. Now, what is the winning pin strategy? If you want to create and publish pins that are impeccable, they're captivating, they're compelling, they are just users darlings, time and again, you got to have a strategy. And I'm going to tell you the strategy. There are four cornerstones of a winning strategy, of a winning pin strategy. Number one, create regularly. You want to establish some kind of consistency around your publishing. You want to have some kind of consistency vis-a-vis your users. So create new original pins at least once a week for a steady stream of content. The more regular content you publish, the more people will flock to you, the more pinners you will draw to your profile, and the more potential customers, fans, or supporters will flock to your site or store. After creating regularly, you want to schedule your pins. So put your pin uploads on autopilot using Pinterest scheduling tool. You don't have to log into Pinterest every single day to schedule a pin. Not at all. Ideally, the best practice that we've seen while researching for this show is that the top pinners in the United States and the UK, they usually schedule their pins 1 month in advance. So you have 30 pins or 30 collections of pins that are scheduled every single day, and they're constantly feeding their followers with relevant, compelling, captivating, and interesting pins every single day. And that's what we're doing too. I mean, as a matter of fact, we are releasing shows every single day to be able to feed quality content and clear content to our viewers. The third thing you need to do is to add a URL. You want to make every pin actionable by adding a URL that drives traffic back to your site or store. Again, you're not doing, as a business owner, you're not doing the whole Pinterest thing just for fun. Of course, fun could be part of it. I'm not saying fun should be discarded here. No, but the bottom line here is that you want to convert. You want to increase sales, conversions, market share, and so on and so forth. So make sure that every pin comprises a URL. The fourth best practice that you need to have in your winning pin strategy is to organize pins into well-named boards. So give boards clear and descriptive titles such as Easy No Bake Dinners to help with search. Remember that when it comes to search engine optimization on Pinterest, the board also are taken into account. So Pinterest algorithm not only pay attention to take into account your board description, but also your content description. So this is something to really think about. All right, this is it, folks. I really appreciate your attention in today's conversation. I really thank you so much. And I'm going to quickly recap what we spoke about today. So today I spoke to you about Pinterest marketing for small business, all you need to know to create the perfect pin. And I spoke about the basics, the pin formats, shopping, marketing goals, measurements, simple pins, how to make pins, and best practices. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay splendid.